it's Tina08, and today I have a book review on The Rose Society by Marie Lu. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm wearing the exact same thing I wore in the Young Elites review because I just filmed that and I just finished this book like an hour ago. And so I wanted to do a book review on this one, so I figured I should do a book review on the Young Elites. So yeah, if you've not read either book, you can go check out my Young Elites review. It has a little more background about it. I'll link that video down below. But if you want a little bit of background, basically in the world that these books take place in, there was a red fever that went through and affected basically everyone. And a lot of people died from it, and a lot of other people were marked and like showed signs of being affected from the plague or the fever, like discolored hair, discolored eyes, large markings on their face, scars, like tattoo looking things. And those people were known as malfetos, and they were viewed very negatively in society. But some of those malfetos have powers, like supernatural powers, and those are known as elites. And those can range anywhere from being able to control fire, to being able to control animals, being able to heal, even raising people from the dead. And no one has the same power, and it's basically about this group of these elites that are trying to take over the throne, and the throne wants basically all these elites killed off. And so it's back and forth between them, and we hear from 3 different viewpoints, and it's really fun and really good, and I'd recommend you go check out the Young Elites if you've not read it, and also the Rose Society as well if you've not read that. But yeah, going into a little more about the Rose Society if you have not read it. The Rose Society follows our 3 main characters again from the Young Elites. We have Adelina, Taryn, and Raphael. And then we also hear some from Maeve. Not very often, but a couple chapters towards the middle end, we get to hear from Maeve. So basically, Adelina has fled Canestra to some other small town place around there. Wait, I got this. Is she gonna marry us? I don't actually remember. But she fled there with Violetta to try to find other elites. Specifically, she's looking for Maggiano, whatever his name is. The guy, like the one with the name Magic after. And basically just trying to recruit other people to join her version of the Daggers, the Rose Society. And she ends up finding Maggiano, and she tries to convince him to join, and he's really like, he doesn't want to. God, I'm sorry. That scared the bejesus out of me. It's 1:52 in the morning. Why didn't I have an alarm set for then? I don't know. Anyways, she tries to convince him to join the Rose Society, and she meets a lot of other leads and tries to convince them all to join, and some people are like, okay, and then others are like, And we end up meeting up with the Daggers again, and there's a lot of harsh feelings kind of between the two. Maeve comes, and the Daggers basically end up teaming up with Maeve to try to end up, like, they want to bring Enzo back to life so they can use Enzo to take over the throne. And Adeline hears about this, and she's like, heck to the no, like, I deserve that throne. So it's basically about them, and some unusual alliances form, and stuff goes down. A lot of deaths in this book. A lot of characters I enjoyed, and like not even just like death, but like people were like, the way some people were treated, it just like broke my heart. And yeah, I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was written really well, and character development and plot were all really well, but the reason I couldn't give it 5 stars was that I didn't enjoy the book that much. Like, that sounds bad. I enjoyed the book. I ended up, through this story, hating Adelina. Like, Adelina's fine. And as it kept going on, like, Adelina and, like, Young Elites, like, was, like, you disliked her. I started disliking her. And she kept getting darker and darker in this book. And there came a time where I couldn't stand it. And by the end, I was literally like screaming at the book. I was like, like I couldn't like. It's so unfathomable. I know it's like interesting reading from a darker character's perspective, but it's so unrelatable, and she's so evil, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with all my gut. And like I didn't realize how much I was like a good person or whatever, but like the stuff she does, and I hate her, and I ended up hating her by the end of this book. But that being said, on Goodreads, this one did get quite a bit higher rating than the Young Elites, so most people enjoyed liking it more. And I really recommend you go check this book out and read it if you haven't, because like I said, it's really good, and so is the Young Elites if you haven't read that, but some spoilers, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't read The Rose Society, I would not recommend watching this because it will contain spoilers and me talking about stuff and ranting a little bit about Adelina. But if you have, feel free, let's go in to discuss this more. Okay, so The Rose Society. Love the book. Interviewing 4 out of 5 stars because freaking Adelina, I'm gonna set this down. Ooh, my arm is getting tired. Adelina, she's so freaking... She loves to kill. And she gets enjoyment from seeing people pain and stuff. And she's like, there's so much fear. I'm like, I just suck it in or whatever. I'm like, I can't relate to you. I freaking hate you. I'm not gonna lie. I really want her to die in the next book. But she won't, because she's like our main character, unless we pull like insert spoiler book there. I won't say it though, because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read those. There's 2 books I could say. But yeah, I hope I wouldn't mind her being killed off. I really wouldn't. I thought she was going to go through a point where she becomes lighter and like, you know, the light kind of comes in and she's like, she's not as dark anymore. No. Even though she's had all this opportunity, like she's no longer with her abusive father, she made friends, but she's like, everyone's using me, so she goes from like, here's the light, here's dark, she's like, here, like, there's dark, she's like really low, and then she goes like down below it, like I'm like, you're like not even human. I mean like I don't know if she is human, but like, I hate her. And through the book, I started hating her so much more. And by the end, like I said, I almost couldn't finish reading the book because it was so disgusting what she was doing. I don't like Taryn, but I like Taryn more than I like her. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, I like Taryn more than I like Adelina. And like, I feel bad for Taryn. Like, I'm like, I don't want to kill the Malfettos. Yeah. But she's killing all these other people, and she's like, well, they kill the Malfettos, but they're just following their orders, okay? Like, they're people, like, I hate them. Still kind of hoping Darren and Adeline get together, especially now that Enzo's out of the picture. But I know there's Maggiano, and like at first I was like, Maggiano, like I don't really care for you, but now by the end I was like, I love you, and I'm like, I want to hear from your perspective. And he's like the happiest, most joyful person, and I'm like, how can you fall for freaking Adelina? She's a freaking crazy psychopath, serial killer, disgusting human being. But I like him, and he still falls for Adelina, and Adelina's like, I want Enzo. Like, I don't know, I kinda like Maggiano too. I don't want him to be gone, but I don't like as much like Enzo. And I'm like, you don't deserve Maggiano. You don't deserve Enzo either. Enzo's not the nicest person either, but he saw the good in you and gave you a chance, and you freaking blew it. And blew with everyone. Adelina freaking killed Gemma. Like, I guess maybe she didn't really, but she did. And like, all those Inquisition on the boat. It's like, dude, you didn't need to do that. You could have showed mercy. Like, she killed the one, like, when she was, like, first, like, with Maggiano, she killed, like, the king or whatever that guy was. I was like, whatever. I'm like, you shouldn't have done it. You didn't have to. But I don't know why she didn't. I don't know why the heck Violetta just stands by and lets her kill all these people either. And she's like, doesn't say anything. And then she gets all uncomfortable. I'm like, tell her not to do it then. Like, by the end, Julietta died or whatever. Gilletta, whatever, the queen died, and I was so heartbroken. Like, I know Taryn killed Enzo. I know that happened, and I know it's horrible, and I was heartbroken. You know, she wanted to get revenge, but the queen wasn't bad towards Malfetos and Elite. She, like, was willing to work with them, and, like, Adeline, like, twisted Taryn's thoughts and, like, his rage and, like, put it in. And, like, I don't understand how Taryn was so easily, like influenced by, like, Adeline's, like, illusions. Like, she covered her own face, like, in front of him into Julieta. I'm pretty sure it's a G, but I'm gonna say Julieta because that's how I say it. And, like, was, like, kissing her, and I'm like, okay. And then, like, all of a sudden, Julieta is, like, a Malfeto because, like, Adelina put a streak of, like, red hair, and he's like, how have I never noticed? It's like, you're just one of them. And it's like, you're a Malfeto too. Like, why are you, like, you should kill yourself then, maybe. But he kills her, and then, like, Adelina, like reveals that she's fine, and he was like, oh my god, no, what have I done? And I was like, no. And I was so depressed, and when Gemma died, I was really mad. She could talk with animals. That's, like, the coolest thing. Like, I want to talk to animals. Also, sorry, I'm all over the place. What happened to that bald guy? Like, the bald guy with the poison? Like, I remember he, like, stabbed, like, Magiana or something. But I never, like, saw him again, like, at that in-fight sequence. Like, was he even in there? Because I don't remember reading about him. I remember, like, Michael, the architect or whatever. But I don't remember reading about him. Did he die? I don't think he died. I don't know what happened to him. I was really glad Enzo realized what a piece of crap Adelina was and told her, like, I should have killed you. Like, you're a horrible person. Like, you know, he's not even, like, he's super dark to begin with and came from the dead and now is, like, super crazy. And Adelina's like, I'm gonna control you. And he's like, no. Except then she got to control him and, like, freaking made him get burns all the way up his arms and he killed all these people. But I'm like, you know, hopefully, like, Enzo kills you. Like, but then they'd be like, I can't do it. I don't know. But I hate Adelina. Sorry. Rant on hating Adelina. I know. She's the main character of the book. But I really enjoyed the book. Like, so it's like an oxymoron. What I was like, oh my god. Violetta called her out at the end. She was like, she told her about, like, Raphael and, like, the elites can't sustain ourselves, and called her out that she enjoys hurting people. And Adelina's like, and Adeline goes through these illusions that she can't control, and, like, Violet's gonna take them away and stuff. But she's like, but Adelina's like, you know, I know there's, like, she can't control those illusions, but she tries to kill Violetta, and she, like, talks herself in and be like, this is Violetta's fault. Violetta wants my spot, and freaking tries to kill Violetta, and, like, she's, like, ripping her hair out just like her father. She's turning just like her father, being that evil person, and I freaking hated it. And I loved how she said the thing, like, throw in the end, like, hoping to get satisfaction, because this is, like, what she worked her entire life for. This is all she's ever wanted, and she feels no enjoyment because she has no one that loves her. Magiana loved her, Violetta loved her, Enzo loved her, the Daggers, I think, even loved her, and she pushed them all away because she's a horrible person, and I freaking hate her. But, anyways, that was my opinion on the Rose Society. I don't know what's going to happen. The next book's called Midnight Star or something. It comes out, like, in October. I don't know what's going to happen. I've read a couple quotes. Like, Marie Luke put out some quotes. Basically, I read, like, the little blurb, too. So, something new comes in, and the Daggers and the Rose Society basically have to, like, conjoin forces to, like, do something, to fight something. I don't know what it is. But I hope Adelina goes. Do I think she'll go? No. I don't want Taryn to die either. I think Taryn can be a really good person. Adelina, I really thought, and by the end of this book I have no hope, but she'll probably end up being something good. I hope Magiano, I don't really want anyone to get with Adelina, but she likes Magiano. I mean, she likes Enzo, but Magiano, so nice, and I hope he gets a girl. Like, he deserves it all. Adelina doesn't deserve anyone. I don't understand how, like, all these guys like Adelina. Like, she's freaking crazy. But yeah, I'm really excited for the third book. I'd love to hear your opinions of the Rose Society, especially what you felt about Adelina, because she's freaking crazy, insane, and I hated it. Like, I don't a lot of times like reading from like a stereotypical protagonist, like over and over again, like an anti-hero or something that's kind of cool, but like, she's just freaking evil. She was written originally as the bad guy, and now she's like our protagonist type thing. I don't even know, but I hate her. But it's good writing. So yeah, like I said, give it 4 to 5 stars just because I hated Adelina. But I'd like to hear your opinions. So yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to give this a thumbs up if you agreed with anything I had or like these types of videos. And subscribe down below for more bookish videos and more book reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.